there are people like us, faith-based leaders, entrepreneurs who are eager, who have ambition. Often we've been told that, especially by the Christian community, your eagerness, your ambition is not good. You worship money, all these things, man. They don't understand the ambition or the heart, because not everybody's like us. Not everybody's who's out there to go get it. They're not go-getters. Anytime we hear the word be content, to an ambitious person, it's like a curse word, to be honest. So they don't really understand what contentment means, especially in a biblical sense.
Welcome to Be More to Do More, where you become the person where we help you become the person you need to become to do the things you're called to do.
Oh, man.
I am your host, or co-host, and interviewer, Henry Allen Hardin III. Don't forget the 3. And got Mr. Anthony Robinson here.
This feels so weird, bro.
Author.
This is our podcast.
And elder. So we're in part 3.
This feels so weird, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. This whole time we've been doing this, I've been feeling like, being interviewed. I gotta get used to this.
So weird that he had to get a jacket and put a jacket on.
Yeah,
so,
man. Chilly out here, cold out here in this world of authorhood.
But you're Arthur now, man. You're Arthur. You're elder. You're old. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But now, we are on part 3.
Yeah.
And the final part of your first book, as we're gonna call it.
Yeah.
And I started with the lyric the last couple times, so I might as well start with the lyric of the week again, right? Lyric of the week comes from Malice. Song is called "The Birds Don't Sing," off of Pusha T or Eclipse new album.
Okay.
So, or newest album this year.
Okay.
Anyway, says, "Boy, you owe it to the world. Let your mess become your message." And part 3 is all about letting your mess become your message.
For sure.
And it talks about fulfillment. So we are going to talk about that. And the first thing that popped out to me with this is chapter 7. And chapter 7 is about being content.
Right, for sure.
And he says, in this place, he says, you say, you say, in this place, I overlooked my gifts and leaned on my skills, strengths, and abilities alone.
Right.
Because I believed it was going to get me more.
Right.
I missed out on the presence of the Lord because of my anxiousness, thinking that faith required me to required me making the moves while God approves.
Dang, that was a bar.
That was a bar. This was the root cause of burning out.
Yeah. Man. Where did I go with that? So, that was a bar. It even rhymes. Yeah, man. So, we talked about that our own ability, our own strengths is finite.
Yep.
And one of the tricks of the enemies is to get you to believe that you can do it within your own strength. We talked about covering up, trying to portray a certain image, trying to, do these things out of your own ability. But what I'm learning is that I can't do it in my own ability, and I have to lean completely on the Lord for his strength because it's infinite. And one of the things that got me there is just learning what contentment really is. And that is leaning on him and his ability. Because think about it, even the word strength or power in particular scriptures, especially in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, one of the definitions is abundance. The problem we have as faith-based entrepreneurs and leaders is that we try to do it the way the world do it and portray or lean on our own strengths or abilities. And we're missing out on the abundance, which is really causing lack in our own business or leadership because we're dependent on ourselves and our own capabilities.
Yep.
So that's pretty much what that is. I think it was something else you said that sparked something else. What?
I'll read it again.
Okay.
Because I think it was so powerful.
Okay, read it again. Something else I wanted to say.
because you were talking about the state of discontentment being a tricky place to live.
Mm-hmm.
And you said in this place, you overlooked your gifts and you lean on your skills and your strengths and abilities alone because you believed it was going to get you more. You missed out on the presence of the Lord, the presence of the Lord, because of your anxiousness, thinking that faith requires you to make moves while God approves.
Okay. So the first part of that kind of connected with the repair and rebuild and repair. When we're not spiritually minded, we miss out on our spiritual gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And our spiritual gifts come from a infinite source, which is Holy Spirit. So what happened is that we would get to a place in our lives where we would think, again, like you say, that Christ is not enough.
Right.
I need to do something more.
Right.
You know? So we
gotta be something I can do.
It gotta be something. So we miss out on our gifts and we start operating in lack, you know? And so that's what that is. And the last part, I think we all think that faith is something that, okay, I'm gonna just faith it and I'm gonna just do it and watch God work. It don't work like that.
Right.
You know, faith works.
Here you go, God.
Yeah.
Chill.
But that's something that we've been taught though.
Yeah.
And I've been struggling with that all my life. I didn't even know what faith was. People will say, just have faith that you'll get a car or get a job. Just have faith, you know. That's not how it works. Faith works through obedience. You know, your faith is not about you doing something while God approved. Your faith is responding to what God said, you know, in obedience. So that's what faith is. People say that faith without work is dead. I think our problem is that we think that our performance, I go to church, I preach. I think I said that too. I preach, I do all these things. I perform, so I should be good with God. And then the works is I'm going to do this and God will approve.
Right.
But it don't work like that. It's my relationship with Christ, my relationship with God. Something should flow out of that. That's where my performance comes from. It's in response to my fellowship and relationship with Him. So that's what it is.
Question: Can you have a fellowship, or can you fellowship with God without reading your word, or is that the requirement? Pretty much is you have to read your word.
Well, yeah.
Like if I wanted to watch a bunch of T.D. Jakes sermons, right? Is that like fellowshipping?
Yeah, I mean, it is. You know, but you do want to go back to your word and get an understanding for yourself because we are mere mortals still. So you can't really get the fullness of God relying on a person. Just like reading I know a lot of people who know the word but don't know God. You know, so fellowship requires, you know, a one-on-one connection, interaction.
Oh, next part of this story. Is the world often tells us that contentment is a synonym for stagnation. Right. But for a believer, it is the pinnacle of a fulfilled life. The greatest barrier to contentment is our own hearts and mind.
Correct.
Walk me through that.
So, man, I love it because anytime we hear the word be content, you know, to an ambitious person, it's like a curse word, to be honest. You know what I mean? I've been told that, you know, some of my life, like, hey, man, why don't you just be content? But I think it's two parts to that. I think the people who is telling us that is telling us stop being ambitious, which is, you know, we can't do that. God made us this way, but for a certain reason, right? So they don't really understand what contentment means, especially in a biblical sense. As faith-based entrepreneurs and leaders, you know, contentment doesn't come from being self-fulfilled. We can't satisfy ourselves with flesh. You know, the Bible says that flesh operate against spirit, spirit against flesh. Right. It's hard to satisfy something that's never satisfied. So our contentment comes from Psalms. I forgot which chapter, but the Bible says, delight thyself in the Lord and He will give you the desires of your heart. Our contentment comes from the Lord Himself, you know, and it comes from that relationship, which I talked about in previous chapters. Like, He is the epitome of what contentment is. Him filling our desires and filling our needs and voids. That's what true fulfillment looks like and what it is. You know, we may not, we may be feeling insignificant or, you know, insufficient, but him and our personal relationship, knowing that he's with us constantly and him showing his hands in our lives every day brings some type of fulfillment and contentment to our lives so that now we can begin to operate in that.
Okay.
Yep.
Because here's the thing I want to bring up about contentment and like wanting to be great and all those things. Because it says the greatest barrier to contentment is our own hearts and minds. And basically it's like the things that we want to accomplish.
Right.
And as an entrepreneur or business person or leader, like you want to be the greatest. Like people don't play sports and be like, okay, I just want to be an average player.
Right.
Like, no, I want to be the GOAT. I want to be the best player. I want to be the best. And I think it's a lot of in business, like, no, I want to be the best. Like I want to be number one. I want to be the best leadership, everything. Right.
Right.
And it reminded me of this movie that I watched recently.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if you've seen the movie, but it's a movie called The Fault in Our Stars. Very sad movie, by the way. You know, I watched it probably like 10 years ago, and you know, just going through, I was like, you know, I feel like I need a good cry. So I watched the movie to get a good cry. I didn't end up crying, but still, I was able to take this out of the movie. This is what it reminded me of, and we're gonna play that little part real quick right here.
Okay.
So our viewers can understand what it is.
Cool.
I know it's kid stuff or whatever. I always thought I would be a hero. I always thought I'd have a grand story to tell. You know, something they published in all the papers. And I mean, I was supposed to be special.
You are special.
I know, when you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. I just don't agree with you. You know this obsession you have with being remembered?
Don't get mad.
I am mad. I'm mad because I think you're special. And is that not enough? You think that the only way to lead a meaningful life is for everyone to remember you, for everyone to love you. Guess what, Gus? This is your life, okay? This is all you get. You get me, and you get your family, and you get this world, and that's it. And if that's not enough for you, then I'm sorry, but it's not nothing. Because I love you. And I'm going to remember you.
Love it.
And it's almost like when I watch that clip, and to me, it's almost like that's like God talking to us.
Right.
It's like, no, I made you. Like, you were created in my image. You like, you don't have to impact all these other people that you're talking about. Like, I put you in this part. I put you in this part of the world at this particular time, around these particular people to impact these people.
For sure.
I don't need you to feel like you need to go change the world. I just need you to impact and change the people that's in your sphere.
Right.
You know?
Yep. So that goes back to the previous chapter. What name are you responding to with that? Like, why do you feel like you have to do these great things? Not saying that, hear me out too now. Not saying that you're not called to that, you know, or you just may have that desire, but you have to ask yourself why. Are you responding to inadequacy? You know, is this why you want to do this great thing? Because the whole premise here and the context of that clip, he wasn't content with her seeing him as great. Right. He brushed it off. You know? So if you can't have gratitude with that one, how are you going to receive others? You know, it's just impossible. And God is not going to throw his pearls before the swine. If you can't satisfy the one, why would he give you more? Right. You know?
And like, because we were having a conversation about, because you asked me how, and I did my first speaking event, I guess. Right. I'm going to call it that. I don't know if it's my first, but I feel like it's my first. He was like, how was it? I was like, that's cool. Like, you know, a couple people, and it was like, no, that's great. Like, that's like, you had people that's asking you questions about this and actually like, I'm like, yeah, but I feel like I just, you know, like I want it to be like, I want everybody to see like all the greatness and all that. And like,
Right.
and you really had to like, it's like, well, I feel like you're great. Like, so and it just reminded me of that. Like, it's like, dang, like,
Yeah.
like, but that, like you make great point, because it's like, how can God reward us when we're not grateful for what he's done for us?
Right.
With more, you know what I'm saying? Like, dang.
Contentment is the foundation of abundance. It's the foundation of gratitude and living a abundance life financially too. You know, I noticed that when we lack contentment, either we're trying to buy our way, you know, to feel fulfilled, or we're trying to achieve our way to feel fulfilled. But it's a whole lot that comes with discontentment. That's why I say it's a tricky state.
You know what else? I think it's also like a level of doubt, because like maybe my response is that way because I don't know if it's going to happen.
Right.
Like yes, you want to do, but is it going to happen? And it's like you're almost like not. You know, you ever heard somebody like never let your highs be too high and let your lows be too low.
Right.
And it's almost like you don't want your high to be so high, like, oh man, my goodness, like, yes, this is one person, like, this is great, like,
right.
And you know that it's gonna work out for you, and you know that you're gonna be speaking to a lot of people and helping a lot of different people.
Right.
And you don't take that. I can't take that feedback that you gave me, because I was like, maybe I feared that this is the only time that, you know what I'm saying?
You would be disappointed.
Yeah, and when it don't happen, if it don't happen in the future, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it goes back to the founding scripture: delight thyself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. You know, are you going to trust him with your desires? Because it may be a lesson on how to have gratitude. What just this one? Again, going back to the scripture, he that has, he will have abundance, and more will be given. More will be given, and he will have abundance. But he who does not have, even what he does have, will be taken away.
Right.
So with the one, how are you going to treat the one? Or how are you going to perceive the one? Are you going to say, nah, that ain't good enough, let me pursue more? Or, man, this is God talking. God is working through me. Man, how can we work or do this? You know, now it becomes about your relationship with him. Lord, how do I get more opportunities like this? Like, man, this is good. You know, I see what you're doing through me. It's not necessarily about you, but the works now, the great works that you're doing. Like, man, how can we get more? So now your disposition, your heart position, your heart posture, and the way you think is changing. It's being formed into the image of the Son, which catapult you. Now you're being elevated because you're conforming through what you see and how you see it. So it that's why I say contentment is the premise for gratitude and abundance.
You know, it's so crazy because I'm reading the next part I highlighted, and I didn't even realize this. This is crazy. True faith, because it's just about like maybe you don't believe it's gonna happen, but true faith is trusting in the Lord with our desires as we align and perform according to His will. Then the God of abundance will take precedence in our lives.
Yeah, the God of abundance.
That's crazy, dog. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy. I got these questions, and like you literally answer them in the next, or and this is how life works too. Like I read through this already before,
right? Yeah.
And so I've actually highlighted that part, but I forgot.
Because it speaks, and when God speaks to you, it ain't just one time.
Yeah,
there's so many lessons that He teach me over and over, and I think. When we talk about is God enough, one scripture can speak to you for a lifetime. He's more than enough.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just an example, man. Like it is there, and you just, so it's one of the books you just read multiple times in each season, you know, because he will bring you into a deeper depth of what he's saying to you through this book. So that's what it is, man. Like, that's why I say it's a lifetime project for me. It's not just something I write one time. It's something that's going to continue to progress for me. It's a way of living for me.
Yeah.
You know, so.
I got 2 more points and then I'll turn it over to you for your final thing. But
Cool.
one, the greatest truth of this book is that the eager heart is not a flaw.
Mm-hmm.
It is a gift from God.
Mm-hmm.
But like any gift, it must be surrendered to the giver. What do you mean by that?
So there are people like us, faith-based leaders, entrepreneurs who are eager, who have ambition. And, you know, often we've been told that, you know, especially by the Christian community, that your eagerness, your ambition is not good. You know, you worship money, all these things, man. They don't understand the ambition or the heart, because not everybody's like us. You know, not everybody's who's out there to go get it. They're not go getters. But we have to understand that our ambition, our eager heart has to be aligned with God's will. And, you know, the way to do that is first to surrender, and then begin to work on ourselves, ask God to reveal the names of combinations that we've been responding to, so that we can see a full picture of who we are.
Yeah.
So that we now can flow from fulfillment, from a place of wholeness, a place of peace. And he's really pretty much using our eagerness, you know, for his will. And it's for the reason he created us. He created us this way for a reason. And that's so that we can elevate, but according to his standards and expectations. Again, his number one purpose is that we are conformed to the image of his son. So he's taking our ambition, our eagerness to conform us so that we can be an influence to his people.
Okay. All right, last thing. Go forth and live in the powerful freedom of your God-given name. Align your eagerness, not with the world's clock, but with the boundless fulfillment and walking in abundance that only comes from delighting in him. And I just feel like that, like, I ain't gonna say it summed up the whole book, but it just, you know, to me, it just spoke to be like, you're called a certain name, answer by the right name. Align yourself with God by really like delighting in him, or what's what we did?
Fellowship.
Fellowship.
Yeah.
Fellowship with him, but also like don't be on the world's clock, right? Like being the, and it's all reminds me of a book. This book called the Science. You ever heard of Science Getting Rich by Wallace?
Yeah.
Like
I heard of it.
You know, it talks about like that there's an abundance of things, and like there's no things like competition, and
Right.
so like don't feel like you're in such a rush to do something.
For sure.
There's more substance of anything that you want out in the world.
Right.
You just gotta like act in the right way to receive it.
See,
So.
that's it, man. Even being content, you know, you can't see the abundance of what's at play if you're not content. If you're discontent, all you're gonna see is lack. If you're discontent, this ain't enough, that ain't enough, this never do this, that never do that, he never do this. But once you become content and allow the Lord to fulfill you by delighting in him, that comes from fellowship, you begin to see the abundance of where you are now. And you'll begin to experience the abundance of what you already have. You know, you'll begin to enjoy what you have. Do you know, like in real estate, where is the wealth? It's in the value of the homes, right? Where does value come from? Appreciation.
Okay.
Isn't it funny how appreciation, do you appreciate this person? Do you appreciate that person? You just increase the value of that person because you see the abundance of what they are or who they are. That's what contentment is. Do you see abundance of where you are in your life right now? Do you see the abundance of what you're doing in your life right now? If you can't, then you can't appreciate it. you know, and you can't get more of it. So that's what it is, man. It sums up the book. It's about relationship and just allowing the Lord to fulfill you and just partnering with God, you know, let him show you and be a steward, you know, give it over to him. So, yeah.
That's all I got, man. It's a great book, great read.
Hey, man, real short. I appreciate it, bro. Again, I appreciate you for just taking the time to dive in, man. Let me know what your thoughts are. And, you know, feedback is very important because, again, this ain't for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is for me. I get a lot from it, but, you know, I'm also doing this to help people too, man, like who's on the same journey, kind of help them to alleviate some of the pitfalls that I've been through. So it's for y'all. Like, feedback is important. So y'all be sure to get the book. It's free. The link is in the bio. But to accompany that book, you need to journal, you know. I mean, it can be this journal, another journal. I recommend this journal. We created this for you guys. This is a wholeness journal. You know, you can talk about how your mental health is or your physical health. You can talk about how close you feel to God. It's a wholeness scale, you know, created by my brother and myself. So y'all be sure to get that. The link in the description. We got the best podcast in the world.
In the world, Craig.
So they need to be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell. Hit the bell, man. I think we out. We out. All right. Peace.
Stick and move, we can get it done. Call it unity, it ain't no way around it. Cultivating, we get motivation from the big guy. We don't play about him. Going hard for the game, showing love.